friend, and welcome to my kitchen. Today I am making homemade chicken broth, and then we will be canning the chicken and canning the chicken broth. This is a simple way to stretch your groceries and stock your pantry. So let me show you how I do it. So there's 11 packages of chicken here. The first thing we'll do is get the chicken into the roasting pan. I was able to get this chicken for $1.94 a pound. The nice thing is it still has the skin and the bones in it, so it'll make great chicken stock. Let's get this chicken in here. The cheapest deal I can find on organic chicken thighs that still has the bone in and the skin on is around $6 or $7 a pound. So I was pretty excited to find this deal. I already got about 10 packages to put in the freezer for grilling. I think I can fit one more pack. I better not do that last pack. I want to make sure there's plenty of room to get plenty of water on here. So there's 9 packages of chicken in here. Now I'm going to cover this chicken with water. Oh, kind of making a mess. I have to move it around because there's so much chicken in here. If I wasn't gonna can the chicken, I wouldn't put so much chicken in here. It's definitely not needed this much chicken, but I want to can this because I don't have room in my freezer for all this chicken. So what I think I'll do is let this cook for 1 to 2 hours until the chicken is fully cooked. And then at that time, I'll pull this chicken out, I'll debone it, and then get the bones right back in here. And then I'm gonna add more water to this at that time because I wanna have plenty of chicken stock to can. So I'm gonna get the roasting pan on. I'm gonna crank it right up to 400 degrees. And then we're gonna let this come to a boil. And then we'll keep an eye on the internal temperature of the chicken at that time. The chicken is at a boil, so I'm gonna turn it down now. And then I'm gonna come back pretty soon and check this because it looks like it's already getting about done. Well, let's check and see if this chicken is done. Oh yes, make sure all of them. Yeah, it's plenty done. Okay, I'm just gonna get all this chicken out of here so that I can take it off the bones. All right, let's get this chicken out of here. I actually think I'm going to have to stall this process because we just got word that our Jeep is done. We've had it in service. I hit a deer with one of them and then we wound up getting a different one and we bought a used one, so there was things that needed to be fixed on it. I think what I might do is just let this all cool down and then put it back on the next opportunity that I have to finish it. That's the nice thing with a lot of these projects is you don't have to do everything all in one day. Some things you have to, but something like this, you can just put it, if you have room in the fridge, that's gonna be the big one there. I knew this was probably gonna be at least a 2-day project because I want it to cook down for several hours because that makes the most gelatinous broth that you can make. But look at the color already. It has such a nice yellow color. I'll probably add more water to it whenever I get all the bones and everything back in there with it. And I think I'll put in some vegetable stock as well. This big ladle is very handy for something like this. You can get a lot of chicken out in a hurry. I'll just unplug this so this will cool down. I'll get it all in the fridge and then we'll come back to it next time I get a chance. Well, I pulled all of the good chicken off of the bones. And now I put all the bones and the skin all back in here inside of this broth. I added more water to it and I also put in some vegetable stock, some stuff that I had threw in the freezer. Whenever I'm chopping up vegetables or anything like that, a lot of times I'll put either the peelings or something like that and it'll just give it a little bit more flavor. So I'm gonna let this simmer all day long. Okay, this is simmered all day. So now it's time to get it out of here. And I'm just gonna put all the bones in this bowl and I'll use this big strainer. I'll strain it again inside, but this will kind of give it a good rough straining with this one. I love big tools like this. It just makes the job go a lot faster. There's nothing better than homemade chicken stock. You can't find anything in the store that compares to this, in my opinion. I don't have a great solution for this, but I have this finer mesh strainer now that I've strained out all of the big bones and skin and all that out of here. I'll use this finer mesh strainer, and I'm just going to try to hold it. I wish it was the size of the top of this. I'll have to watch for something that's that size, but I'll take my big ladle here and attempt to pour that in here. Actually, I wonder if I put this down here in the bowl. That works. So I put the spoon in here and then set that on there, and that'll help hold it up, I think. We'll see. Look at how nice and yellow this broth is. That is going to taste so good. It's kind of concentrated too, so that will be good. So this is what them chicken bones cook down to. I'll get this strainer out. That's all that's strained out, so that big strainer did a pretty good job. We have had some very cold weather lately, so I have to dress warm when I come out here to the garage. We do heat it, but we only heat it up to like 50 degrees out here. Unless we're having a get-together or something, then we warm it up. But our temperatures have been down into the low single digits. And with the wind chill, it's been below 0. The rest of it will fit in here, so I'll get this finished up. And then I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator, and then we'll can this tomorrow. So I got a big full day of canning today. I had 2 containers of this broth, and I put it in the fridge, and now you can see a fat layer on the top. So I'm gonna take that off, and this will not go to waste. I'll turn this into some very good gravy. And the reason you take the fat off the top is to prevent seal failure and potential spoilage, as fat on the rim interferes with the lid seal, and excess fat inside can go rancid or insulate bacteria. Though many canners leave some in, skimming it off later if needed, or accepting a shorter shelf life if not. The main danger is fat preventing the airtight seal, which leads to spoilage. I'll get this poured over into the pot. My canner can only hold 5 quarts. And there's a little bit of chicken stock stuff down there in the bottom. I don't mind if some of that goes in there. I think I'll leave the rest of it in there to put in the gravy. Today I'm canning in quart-sized containers because whenever I make chicken noodle soup, typically I always need to open 2 pints. So this will be handy to just have enough in 1 jar without having to open up 2. Now I'm going to get this on the stove and get this up to boiling, so it'll be ready to ladle into the jars. I put enough water in here to come up to the first line, and then you fill your jars half full of water before putting them in the canner. I'm going to remove the regulator from the top and get this on here. And I'm confirming that there is a gasket on the sensor. I'm going to lower the sensor arm and turn the green latch clockwise to lock it in place. It says pressure can, and that's what I want it on, and then I'm going to push this button here to move forward. And now I need to turn this dial to set my time. I need it for 25 minutes. So I'm going to push this button again. It says to insert the jars. I've done that. So now I'm going to push this, and now it says warm. And this process takes about 20 minutes, and then we'll come back here when it says it's finished. All right, it says fill jars, so I'm gonna get the lid off and get my jars over into the pan so I can get them filled. I'm just gonna use the hot water that's in the jar and pour it here into the pan so that the jars stay warm. And that's probably enough water. The rest of it I'll dump into the sink. I'll get my funnel on here, and then I'll ladle some of this. I'll move this over so I don't get it everywhere. I'm going to fill the jar, allowing 1 inch of headspace. I always try to go on the side of less than more, because with anything that could possibly boil up and over, I don't want to get it too high in the jar. So I'm about right there. I'm just going to wipe the top of these with a clean cloth. You want to make sure you get these really clean. I always go over them twice with a cloth. I just put vinegar on a paper towel, and I'm just going to wipe these again just as a precaution, because you do not want any oil left on the rings or you take a chance on them not sealing. I'll get the lids on these. So we're just doing these finger tight. You don't want to over tighten them. Okay, we're gonna take these over and get them in the canner. Get the lid back on here. And the regulator's still off the top. Get this lowered and locked on. All right, now we can just push this button here. We'll just wait, and then whenever it gets ready, we'll need to put the regulator on. If you want more detailed instructions about running this particular pressure canner, in my venison canning video, I talk a lot more in detail about every step to do with this particular canner. All right, I think I can get these out of here. And then I'll get the canner set up and do the exact same thing all over again for the next batch. I'll dump this water out though that's in here and get clean water in. All of the broth has been canned. Now I'm going to put this chicken in the pan here so I can get it warmed up. That's a lot of chicken. I'm gonna put a little bit of broth on here, but mostly just water. The chicken is almost covered. I won't cover it completely, I don't think, because I can always add more to the jar. I'll put a little bit of this broth on it. I want to save enough to make some gravy though. I better get this turned on too, so I can get it warmed up. Sounds like my jars are ready. I'll let this heat up for a while, then I can get it in the jars. So I'm gonna get these jars filled with the chicken. Again, leaving a 1-inch head space. I think I'll just top it off with a little bit of the broth. That looks pretty good. I'll take a knife and debubble this chicken. You just want to try to get all the air bubbles out of it. And then if it's not completely covered with liquid, you'll want to add more water to the top of it, or more broth, whatever you're adding to your chicken. I'm going to take a little bit of this out. I feel like I got too much in there. I'm going to do a really good job of cleaning these rims off because I know a lot of oil got on them. And the same as with the broth, I'm going to take vinegar and go over these all twice. Get my lids on here. There's enough chicken in this pot that I think I'll get another 5 quarts. So I may have 10 quarts of chicken and 10 quarts of broth. That would be awesome. Again, we're just doing finger tight. We did the broth for 25 minutes, but the chicken calls for 90 minutes. So I'll get these in the pressure canner, get them canned up, and then we'll be back when everything is done. So there you have it. We have 9 quarts of chicken canned up, and then we also have 10 quarts of chicken stock. And the chicken stock is concentrated, so it goes a lot further. But these simple things makes everyday cooking easier. If you enjoyed this video, would you consider liking and then subscribing so that you can join me here again next time? I hope that you're all having a wonderful day. Bye for now.